Hi, I'm Joyce, the Energy Lady. I have a conversation today about listening because that's kind of what we've been talking about. My husband and I did a online listening class a week ago, and we currently have some videos for sale. So I'm going to talk about what your listening is for people. And maybe that's kind of a funny way to say it or term it, but think about how do you listen for certain people? We have a different listening for every person, okay? I have a different listening for my husband than I do for my children. And I have a different listening for my clients than I do for my neighbors. So your listening is what comes from your experiences with them, okay? Now, if it's a brand new person that you've never met, your listening for them is probably going to be a little cautious, because you don't know them. You don't know anything about them. You don't know any of their history. You don't know how they're going to respond to you. Now, if it's somebody that you really know well, then your listening, oh, my hair, goodness. Your listening is going to be responding to the way they have been, okay? And so, for instance, or example, my husband, my listening for him in the evenings is typically, I know he's tired. He's had a long day. And so my listening for him is, I'm cautious. I'm not going to discuss or have a conversation with him about something that might be a deep conversation, or that might be something that causes upset in some way, okay? Because I know he's tired. So I'm just not going to address that at that time or at that moment. With my children, I know they don't want to be fixed. I know they don't want my advice. They're all adults. And so my listening for them is simply just be present, do nothing, listen to them. And then if I do have something I'd like to say, I can ask them, do you want me to just listen? Or do you want me to actually respond and say something? If you have a listening for people, already listening for them, then are you really listening? Are you really listening to them? If you've already prepared what you're going to say to them in response, if you've already prepared yourself to know, oh, I know they're going to respond like this. You know, for example, with my husband, it's like, I don't address those things, but I could. My listening for him is like, he might not respond the way I want him to, so I'm not going to discuss that right now. I'll wait till in the morning. So if you're listening for somebody with an already response, then you're really not listening to them. And really what people want to do is they want to be listened to. They want to be gotten. They want to be heard. That is the deepest call to their heart and their soul, is for you to actually hear them. So if you can actually communicate, listen to somebody with no agenda, with nothing in the backdrop and the background that says, this is how they're going to respond, or this is how I'm going to respond to what they're saying. If you're simply listening without having any plan on how you're going to respond to them, then you're really listening. So that's called present immediacy, present day listening. And so try that with those you care about. Try it with strangers. You know, if you're listening to a stranger, I listen to strangers all the time. For some reason, people are drawn to me. I'm in the public, and they share their life stories with me. So I just listen to them. And so listening to people is what they want. That's what they're looking for. That's what they're asking for. So if you can back off your agenda for them, or back off being worried about yourself, how they might respond to you, what you're going to say to them in response to what they're saying, if you can actually put all that aside and just hear what they're saying, you will experience a difference. Let me know if you try it, how your experience is. And if you have more questions about this, please book a consultation with me. Let's talk, and I can share some more thoughts. Have a good one.